Okay, continuing where I left off. Um, so in the last episode I had a crash and lost Jebediah, uh, Bill, and Jemsy. Didn't actually realize that on normal, apparently it defaults to respawning dead Kerbals. So I now have an extra engineer that I just hired. Um, yeah, I guess that's good. Looks like Jeb lost all of his experience, which isn't a terribly huge deal, but um, right now I have active a rescue mission, um, and a science data from space mission. So let me go back and I had modified this by adding, oh, why did that not save? Uh, there we go. Photovoltaic panels. I am also going to stick a thermometer on here because that seems like an appropriate thing to have. And it would be nice to have some way of getting people out of here, but I don't actually see any really good way to do that. So, is there anything else I can do to make this better? I definitely have plenty of fuel, and this should solve my electrical issue. So I think that's ready to go. Let's lift off. It's a night lift off, which shouldn't make much of a difference. The night lights do look better from the ground anyway. Those control flaps really help. Oh, I just realized I totally forgot to bring an engineer along. Well, that's unfortunate. I would have liked to have that. So Gemsi's ship is still in orbit. I may just delete that because I'm not going to, it's kind of in the way a little bit. Okay, there's 80. So I'm going all the way out here. set as target. Almost circularized. So this whole launch process does eventually become pretty routine, hence why we'll probably switch to using MechJeb at some point. Oh yeah, I never finished that explanation because I died. As I get more and more used to this, I am probably going to get more focused on, oh, whoops, I just screwed up. Revert to launch. That just went badly wrong. Actually, this would be practice landings. Can we spin this away? Nope. There we go. Kids, don't try this at home. I'm going to revert this to launch. So I accidentally staged prematurely there. This seems to happen every time I start talking about my plans for the future. That might be telling me something. What else is 42? 66. $80. Okay. I guess I was saying that MechJeb allows you to automate launches and landings, and that will, I think, become increasingly attractive as this becomes increasingly routine and I start embarking on larger projects, orbital construction, and that sort of thing. It'll probably be tempting to use MechJeb, and I have looked at it briefly in a couple of videos, and it looks like actually quite a bit of fun. It's a different style of play, obviously, but it is interesting. There we go, periapsis. I am now in a circular orbit. Okay, set as target. And maneuver. "34 seconds. Really wish I had an engineer on board. That made this much easier. I guess when I reverted my flight, I could have stuck one in, but I kind of forgot to do that. I do like how Kerbal Engineer really does make engineers worth having. Okay. I bet real astronauts wish they had a fast forward button. That's a lot like my own job. Long periods of boredom punctuated by brief moments of extreme excitement. Which is really actually I kind of like. Oh, I just realized I have a problem. So I was looking at this and being like, well, why does this 180 instead of 0? That would be because I'm going this way and this ship is going this way. Which means that if I match orbits with it, I will be going at its velocity in the opposite direction. That's not going to work. So what I need to do is launch towards the west, which I never do. The reason you always launch to the east is because when you launch towards the east, the Coriolis effect helps you It makes getting into orbit cheaper, effectively. Launching to the west will take more delta V. The other reason for launching to the east is if you have a catastrophic failure, you wind up in the water instead, which was actually a bad thing for rockets in earlier versions of the game, but was at least polite to the residents of Kerbal Space Center, not dropping debris on their heads like I just did. In general, you don't want to drop used rockets on populated areas, which apparently I now have. Isn't that pretty? But you work with the launch characteristics you have, not the ones you wish you had. So already you can see my relative inclination is 10.8 instead of there we go. Apoapsis is at 80. I like having an engineer on board. I think I said that already a couple of times. I do need to adjust how my staging's working. I really shouldn't have an explosion every time I stage. Alright, there we go. I'm in orbit. Alright. We point it this way. Wait, what? How did that make things worse? Oops. Oh, that was unfortunate. Did that wrong. Okay, relative inclination is 0.9. 0.15. 0.08, 0.05, 0.03, 0.00023. I think that's good enough. Alright. Now I just need an intercept. Also need to avoid a moon encounter, which is a slight complication. I think I see what I need to do, actually. Oh well. I'm just going to, I don't know if I brought enough fuel for this. That would be a no, I did not bring enough fuel for this. Well, that was learning experience, I guess. So far, I'm doing really well this episode. vehicle assembly. I feel like 5,000K delta V should be enough. 5K delta V should be enough, but apparently is not. So I am going to an extra 500. Okay. Now let's see if we still have enough thrust to lift off. I'm pretty sure I do, but... this is not going to fly well. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, this will help at least initially. Whoops, that needs symmetry. Trying to get some more struts on here. Come on. There we go. This might help stabilize a little bit, hopefully. Oh yeah, that's part of the reason. It takes a lot more fuel, as I said, to get up into orbit when you're launching to the west. Those struts actually are really helping. I'm going to feel much better when I've dropped this stage, though, that's for certain. It's weird seeing it going this direction. There we go. Now it's much more aerodynamic. Oh, I was vaguely nervous. I just passed apoapsis and I haven't brought my periapsis up to positive yet. But I think I have enough time because my apoapsis is pretty high. Yeah, it's not going to be a problem. Whee! Periapsis is at 70. All right. Still not sure I have enough fuel. It's looking like it's going to take me almost 400 meters delta V just to get my inclination straightened out. I have 17 meters per second delta V remaining. Or 1.7 rather. Okay, that's going to be good enough with inclination. Alright, let's see how much delta V. Well, I'm going to find out real quick whether I have enough delta V. So that's going to be. Oh, I'm going to have to go out to the orbit. And then at apoapsis, I will need. Would be if things went completely perfect. It's going to take me that much delta V. That's 800 just to get out. And I only have 1400 left. Yeah, I don't have enough fuel. Needs more boosters. Well, I mean, technically what I'm trying to do here is roughly as hard as a moon landing. So it shouldn't be terribly surprising that I'm having as much difficulty as with a moon landing. He's out further than the moon. And I actually don't have the moon's gravity would help me orbit the moon. Okay, it's not as hard as a moon landing, but it's as hard as a moon rendezvous and orbit. Plus, if I was doing a moon mission, I would not be carrying this very heavy 1-ton crew capsule. So what this is telling me is I don't have the tech level to do this right now. That's unfortunate. Let's pick a different mission then. Gather scientific data from the moon. Well, I will be doing that. Actually, I can complete that right now, can't I? This guy's in low Kerbin orbit. Let me see if he's more accessible. Yes, he is. I'm going to remove Gemsi's scrap just because it's distracting. So he's only at an altitude of 7,500. Well, this craft is complete overkill for him. I'm not going to modify it too heavily, but I am going to drop one of these. Okay. Hudson's debris. Okay. Definitely have plenty of fuel this time around. Actually, I guess it's not a definitely, it's just a probably. There we go. Alright, I am in orbit. Bump this up a bit more. So a higher orbit means effectively that I am going slower than him. So he'll slowly catch up with me. I am actually going to bump up my orbit a little bit more just to speed that process up. Okay. Now I need to start thinking about actually closing in on him. That looks pretty good. Oh, hey, my inclination got off again somehow. That's awkward. Or did I ever? No, I never corrected my inclination, that's why. Inclination is how much at an angle the orbits are relative to one another. So I have to correct that to match up. And I'm looking at that right here on Kerbal Engineer, but you can also see that on here by these little icons here. Whoa. Whoop, X. Okay. That's good enough. Alright, now. Back. Dang it, maneuver nodes broke again. Center. Okay. Oh, that was where I wanted to be. Wait a sec. Back. This is going to handle so much better once I drop this stage, which should be very soon. Okay, can I do some correction and get these to match up? Zero 0.8. That looks good. Okay. That's awkward. Oh, fuck. I hit spacebar by accident. You know, I'm tempted to scrap this entire episode by virtue of I have had, I think, 4 failed missions now. I have yet to actually have a successful launch because I have hit staging by accident every time. Why don't I have a revert flight option? Fuck. I have no idea why I don't have a revert flight option. Well, guess what? I just upgraded my rescue mission. So, next episode, I will be rescuing 3 Kerbals. That's vaguely appropriate considering they miraculously came back from the dead. Okay, this is Kalil signing off.